Leg 2 is the Fitzroy Crossing to Broome, presented by Smoke Free WA. From Fitzroy Crossing, the field heads west through some incredible countryside, 550 kilometres to Broome, located on the coast. Beautiful weather, clear blue skies, quite warm temperatures. 25-year-old Ben Grabham leading the field away. That CRF 450 sounds fantastic. Holding it wide open, Ben Grabham, who hails from Bathurst and enters this event fresh from victory in the famed Think Desert race and part of the incredible Honda operation that are tackling this event. Here's our leader in the auto division, John Heddericks, really pushing, as you can see, running wide there, losing a little bit of time, trying to increase his gap on Denham. Even the leaders having their problems reading the course at this stage of the game. So difficult for Ben Green, trying to plot his path. The wide open plains offering almost nothing there in the way of reference points. Ben Grabham setting the early pace on the bikes, while the young 18-year-old Jacob Smith, a wildcard entry with Yamaha, was setting some fast times on the course today. He hails from a motocross and supercross background, won an endurance event, the Kondo 650 heading in, and has really surprised many of the experienced competitors so far. Brilliant scenery, Grabham roaring across the open plains, reaching 170 kilometres an hour and a dust vapor trail. Western Australia really is the ultimate off-road adventure playground. Just another example of the wide open spaces where you can go days without seeing anyone. Everything about this state is vast. To put it into perspective, Western Australia has private properties and cattle stations the size of England. The rough terrain really takes its toll on machinery. The Australian Safari is a tough event. It takes real drive and stamina to win. The outback town of Fitzroy Crossing is located on the banks of the Fitzroy River, 3 hours drive from the town of Derby along the Great Northern Highway. Now, the bridge is prone to flooding in the wet season, which in this part of the world is from December to March. As they crossed the scenic Fitzroy River, the field had a chance to wash away some of the dust and take in some of the magnificent scenery. Now, the moral to the story is never let your guard down, as Magnus Eriksson found out the hard way. Desperate to cool off, Eriksson took an impromptu swim, much to the delight of some of the eager spectators. Even the locals were out in force following the Australian Safari. Now this is overtaking Australian Safari style.
Move over, you Oi! Move over!
The first of our BF Goodrich magic moments undoubtedly goes to Robert Emmons in his Nissan Patrol for sheer ingenuity, even if there was a little bit of competitive impatience. It's dry, hot, thirsty work, the heat sapping both drivers, riders and very taxing on vehicles. Fatigue and concentration so important in this type of endurance event. Just when you think you've conquered everything the course has thrown at you, there's the rogue fence to contend with as well. Much of the Australian Safari is staged on private property, and as such, opening and closing gates is paramount, and yes, there's even a gate protocol for competitors to observe. There's plenty of camaraderie between the riders. While there's no shortage of rivalry, the sheer remoteness of the country demands they look out for one another. In many ways, it's a case of survival, with the elements being the common foe. Just 10 kilometres out from Broome, the dust was replaced by smoke. A large fire roared across to the course, creating a cloud of thick smoke. Bushfires are a natural part of life in Australia, and they presented yet another hazard for the competitors to contend with. With a temperature at a stifling 109 degrees, a sea breeze, it was unfortunately perfect conditions for a fire.
We had a few dramas today. We have lost first and second gear. So the boys are changing out our gearbox. We've also had a broken exhaust, which is being repaired now. We also did a tyre 6 k's from the end of the last stage, which damaged one of our handbrake cables. So we've had a pretty eventful day, but we got through it.
After 2 demanding days across the outback, everyone relieved to reach the coast, but for the crews, they worked hard into the night.